Hello, everyone. Welcome to the week in review for modules 2 and 3, which is kind of weird for us. This week, we're covering two modules. Again, as I mentioned in the introduction video for week 1 or module 1, which we just covered one module there, that this course will be running over a 6-week period. Normally, we run these courses over 8 weeks, but we are still having 8 modules. So I have eliminated, there's been some coursework that has been eliminated out of here. Of course, you don't know that because you don't see what the other version looked like. But to kind of balance things out, like especially for this week, where I know you're covering a couple different modules of material. So for those of you that are very used to doing one module, 1 week, remember this is different. There are two modules that will need to be completed this week. We are doing modules 2 and 3, which we'll take a quick look at here in just a moment. Module 1, I'm shooting this as of Wednesday. Module 1, I need to finish up the quiz grading. I'll release the quiz grades to you. There's always some manual grading I like to do in those, so stay tuned on that. But you have my guarantee, unless something tragic happens in the next half an hour, that this Wednesday those grades will be released for you for your Module 1 activity and for your quiz. So let's talk a little bit about this week, and let's just jump into the course and kind of look at what we're doing. Again, just please be aware that we're covering two modules this week and not the normal in here, so which is 1. All right, so again, I think it sounds like everybody has the textbook at this point, so I will no longer be putting the readings in here. If you have an issue, please text me. If you have an issue with the textbook at this point, or in week 2 that it hasn't arrived yet, and I might be able to do one more PDF for next week's reading. Of course, the publisher hates when I do that, and I don't want to get in trouble with them, but I think I could squeeze out one more week if you're having issues with the textbook. Let me know. Other than that, I'll assume everybody is okay. Now, I did cause a little bit of a heart attack, I think, for you, for some people. I had a student text me, just checking here. Um, I had a student text me, Kimberly. I think I've scared Kimberly. So Kimberly, um, this I put in the course news here, looking ahead to the Affordable Care Act paper. You will not be doing the Affordable Care Act paper. As I mentioned earlier, there's some things I've stripped out of this course to make it a little bit more manageable for you, and this paper I have taken out of there. So I'm going to re-edit this news item that I have here. I do like the links that you may need for any of your written assignments that you do anywhere at the college. So please play around with these links, but you will not have to do the APA paper, which we normally do in our bigger class where we're running 8 weeks long. You have a little bit more time to do that, but that was one of the first things that I eliminated. But I do want you to have these links of these resources down here, so do play around with that. So sorry for causing panic out there. You do not need to do the Affordable Care Act paper. So, all right, so let's go back up to the course itself and see kind of what we're doing for this week. And again, you're going to be doing modules 2 and 3. Um, Also, keep in mind, I had a couple questions that with the lectures, any material placed in the lectures is fair game for the quizzes. So do keep that in mind. So do watch the lectures. Could you pass the test without watching the lectures? You could. You might miss one or two questions, or you might have enough to figure out what the questions are without answering the or viewing the lectures. But to be on the safe side, and the whole reason is really to supplement the reading that you're doing, I would recommend that you watch the lectures that are in the modules. Um, all right, so there's my little spiel on that. But this week, again, we're going to be doing modules 2 and 3. So let me move up to 2 here, and we'll just kind of go through this. So for module 2, all you have to really do is the learning activity, or sometimes called homework, the learning activity. and the Module 2 quiz. Um, and then for Module 3, only a couple of items due. One of them very easy, uh, but you'll have a quiz, and then you'll also have the progress journal. That's the easy one, just where you talk to me. I'm going to ask you some questions this week, really to see how you're doing. Tell me about yourself. Are you graduating? Some of you might be actually completing your graduation requirements this summer. So yay, you're excited. This might be one of your last classes that you're taking. I know I met some of you that are graduating that actually participated in commencement in the spring, but yet you still had some coursework to do. So you've already walked and got your empty diploma, and now you're just completing those final requirements. And some of you may be just starting off. So I'd like to know where you're at, what program that you're in. Many of you are in HCA, but there's some folks in other programs as well. So I'd like to kind of know that. How you doing? How you feel like you're doing in this course and in some of your other courses too. As the director for the healthcare administration program, I'm really, concerned about you as a student in total, not how you're doing necessarily in this class, but in all your classes. So, yeah, let me know if you're having any difficulties, any problems, or things are just going great. I like to hear that too. So, put that in there if you could, please. And then also let me know how I can help you to learn. Do you like more video? I do like to change these classes. For those of you that have had me, I take your input as we're running the class and change it based on your input. So, if you want more video, that can definitely be done. If you're looking at other things, let me know. I will say one of the things that you'll notice with this particular course, and in, in general, kind of my speech on this is the quizzes. Now, the quizzes are designed to be difficult. As I mentioned in my introduction video, they're going to be difficult. But what I learned from the group last time, what they really appreciated was different styles of quizzes. So you're going to start seeing some different styles of quizzes that you may like better, that appeal to you. For example, um, the final exam that we have, I'll give you a little glimpse of the final exam. I have something called Design Your Own Final. So, where I'm going to give you a menu of topics to choose from, and you get to really pick on how you wanted to, what questions that you want to answer from that final. So that's kind of cool, and I think that the last group really appreciated that. It was comprehensive and it wasn't a cakewalk. I think I had 100 different terms in there and selecting 50 of those. So we might, stick to that similar number, but it allowed folks, because certain things with this course are going to resonate with you. Some things you're just going to totally not like at all with accounting, which is okay. And the things that you tend not to like at all, you tend to forget. And the things that you think are kind of cool and you keep in the back of your mind, those are the ones that I guess are easier to recall. So that's all good, and we're going to bring that back, kind of bring that back on the design your own final. But that's just to illustrate that we're going to kind of change things up as the course progresses, and that doesn't mean what worked for the last group works for you. If you like something a certain way, I'm definitely looking at, we could even change, or not do a change in this course. So let me know. This is your mechanism for some feedback. I like to get that relatively quickly rather than waiting to the end of the course so we can make changes on the fly. And again, for those of you that have had me before, you know that that we do that quite often. So all right, so that pretty much covers what we're doing this week. Again, not too bad. I know you're doing 2 modules in 1 week, but you're only doing 2 quizzes, you're only doing 1 homework, and you're doing a simple progress journal where you're just basically talking to me. Um, so there's no studying or reading required in there. Let's see. I think that pretty much covers it. Grading will be all done today for Module 1. It looks like everybody's doing well. Just remember, let me know if you're having any difficulties continuing with that textbook, and I'll be happy to do one more week's worth of reading in there. Um, And let's see, looking ahead, next week we're just going to be back to our normal pattern where it will be one chapter and one module. So kind of grind through this one, and you're going to do fine. Week 4 though, we will be having, or I should say, uh, module 3. We will be doing, or I should say, week 3, which will be module 4. We will have a midterm in there. But again, I think you'll all do fine. With the midterm that'll be coming up next week, do make sure that you're looking at the quizzes that you've taken. At that point, you would have taken 3 quizzes. The midterm is drawn very heavily from the quizzes that you've already had. So make sure you take a look at those after I've released them back to you. All right, that concludes the week in review for this week. And as always, thanks for watching.